Holy crap. Sorry, I'm having allergies here. Allergy attack. In Idaho, there's a fucking farm everywhere, so if you got allergies, they're gonna stir that shit up. Anyways, this is not. Let me start over. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, so do not base anything you do off of what I say. Anyway, want to jump in real quick today. It looks like GME is having a bit of a pump, if you will. Obviously, we know it's got a long ways to go to get to molasses territory, but I can take comfort in the fact I know this is not normal for a stock to be volatile as much as GameStop is or AMC is. So, it's just not normal. It's not normal. You know what I mean? Heroes, what's up? In the comments, it says, ¿Cómo estás? Chilling. ¿Y tú? That's about as far as my Spanish is going to go. Anyways, yeah, I was just saying, though, as far as volatility goes, there's a lot of stocks that go up and down, but that direct shot up and then it kind of stops and it kind of, oh shit, those are things that kind of give you that okay, this especially for a play that's supposed to be dead. When they say GME's dead or AMC's dead, and then it rockets up, I don't know what the percentage is. We'll say 25% at pre-market, and then another 15% at open or whatever. It just shows you that there's a lot of movement behind it, and at sometimes the algo's got to let it rip a little bit and then trying to pull it back. But I do think that we are getting closer and closer and closer to the inevitable. And I look at it this way: if GME rips, I don't think AMC is far behind. I'm talking like hours, minutes, maybe. I can't imagine that they'd want GME to squeeze and hit another $400 or $500 share, and then be suppressing AMC at the same time, because what's going to happen, or vice versa, what's going to happen is people are going to buy the next one that they think is potentially gonna pop. So that being said, we'll monitor it, see how it goes throughout the day. Obviously, being in this play long enough, you try not to get overly excited. It is good to have green days and positivity, and I guess affirm that we're on the right path, or I'm on the right path. I don't know if you could say that for moves like this, but I can. For me personally, when I see FUD articles and stuff all over the place, and then it still rips up like this, it just shows me, okay, at some point or another, it's going to be out of control when it whips out of control. That's kind of weird. It's going to be out of control when it whips out of control, but that makes sense, I guess, right? When this thing finally flips out and they can't contain it, or they get a margin call, or something happens that a black swan event, anything that's going to create another movement. And when people say it's impossible, it'll never happen, let it go, blah, 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 blah. Those are the same people and same types of people, I guess I should say, that told me that when GameStop ripped last time. I remember buying into it. I wasn't that heavy, but I remember talking to people I knew that I thought there actually were financial advisors, people that I trusted, that lived off the market and trade other people's money for a living, and I of course I don't talk to these people on a daily basis, but there was a couple guys that said, "Oh man, what do you think about GameStop?" And they're like, they didn't really say it ain't nothing, but I just kind of like, well, what do you think is gonna happen? It's this and this and that, and it's a dying company, and what does this chart tell you it's gonna do? To me, it says fail, and shit like that is what I got. You know what I mean? A lot of that type of reaction from people. And then online, I started looking it up, and I started noticing people talk about it, how, basically what I was thinking about. And then it was rebutted with a lot of FUD as well. So that's what's going on now. It's like, we can see you. We see what happened last time. You know what I mean? It's not like it's like something, so absurd it could never happen. It's already happened, and it never got fixed on the other side. The hedgies are still shorting it down, still arrogantly believe that they can just knock this shit out the water. So here we are. I guess an old saying that fits is history repeats itself, and I do believe, in my opinion, that history is about to repeat itself. I don't know how far out we are, but I would say that it's getting closer day by day. Every time it rips up like this, you're going to get more and more people FOMOing in. You're going to get people that didn't even buy in the play that are going to be looking back and say, hey man, I could have made money off of this last jump. Because there is people that play it that way as well. There's people that just make money on the rips and they're going to buy in and out. You can't control that. Yeah, it sucks. We wish, I wish it, everyone was just simple buy and hold, but there's going to be day traders. There's going to be people scalping it. There's going to be people panicking, paper handing, whatever. But the fact of the matter is the community behind GME and AMC is so damn huge. And I can almost guarantee, I can't say what you guys do with your money, but I know what I do with my money, and it's a daily buy. Even if it's only a couple bucks a day. And if you add millions of people doing that across the globe, that shit's starting to pile up, and not selling. I don't sell my shares, like AMC especially has been the one I've been buy and hold for the last three and a half years. It's crazy to even say that, but with GameStop, I just recently started doing that. Before, with GameStop, yes, I admit I was in and out, and I know that people don't like that, but I made good money off of it, but not mo-ass money, not enough to change my life. I'm still here, paying my monthly bills and just barely getting by, right? Through this 5 kids and medical bills and a mortgage, whatever the case is, just like everyone else. Everyone's got bills. So it didn't change my life. It helped me get through. And I realize now that, it's a mistake. I should have just been buying and holding this whole time. And I'm gonna continue to do so. So GameStop and AMC, I play just like I'm playing a long-term 20-year hold, except I look at the potential of it exploding at any day. So that's the difference. With my long-term blue chip, safety plays, if you will, air quotes, those safe plays, I just don't, I put money into them weekly, but I know that they're not going to have the potential to go up, 3,000% in a couple days, which these definitely can. So I don't know, man. It's just, you either believe in it or you don't. I'm not trying to convince anyone to jump into a play, because for me, I think it's already got enough people. I think in a way that it might even be somewhat of the problem. There's so many damn people, there's so many damn shares that they don't know what to do, but the problem is they're not going to go away. They're just going to keep adding and adding, and I don't understand how they don't understand. Well, maybe they do. They understand. They get it, I guess, because if you look at it from their point of view, on the other side, shorting this down, it's going to, I guess, destroy what they've built over years and years and years, and reputation. And that, I think that's the biggest thing. I think reputation and just not wanting to lose and being, I guess, maybe entitled. People with money and a lot of money, they have a very huge sense of entitlement. And it sucks because I'm around a lot of people that way. I know a lot of people that they don't even know they sound entitled, but they say some things. It's like, I don't know. You go to a restaurant and they order ice water, and they don't, or they order water without ice and they bring it with ice, and they're just like, oh my god. It's just it's a way of people talk, and so just being around rich people. I know a lot of rich people. I know how they act. I know how they can be good people, but they still have that sense of entitlement. So I feel like that's one of the reasons that they haven't let this play rip is the entitlement. All right, my bad. I had to order my coffee, and they always ask for my phone number, and the last thing I need is someone off my live. Last time I did something here at the coffee shop, I actually pulled out my credit card on in front of the camera, without really thinking about it. I was talking, I pulled my card out and I handed it over. Well, someone freeze framed it at the exact right second. And within that evening, my card was being charged all over the place. There was Six Flags, uh, amusement park in Los Angeles. There was something in Salt Lake City, Cane's Chicken. There was, anyways. So I got to be careful with this shit. Realized that I bought a comp with your card, son of a bitch. I wish I knew I had that type of money. A computer or just like a comp to a hotel. Yeah, but that actually happened to me this last year or so. I'm like, damn, man. Anyways, I couldn't figure out how someone got a hold of it. I looked back at one of my videos, and then sure enough, that same day, the card that I. Anyways, we were talking about GME, blah blah blah. I guess it's all shit that you already know. You know what I mean? I'm just blabbering on, killing time until this thing squeezes, saying things I think everyone already knows. I think most of us already have a sense of what we're looking for. Roaring Lion says tomorrow GME and AMC will pop off as well. I would love for that to happen. I think honestly any day it could happen, but I don't. It's hard to say a date specific. Especially it's hard because I've been through a lot of ups and downs, or a lot of catalysts or chart reading that I'm like, there's no way they can maintain this. And then when I go and say something on a live or a video, and then the next day it just plummets, and everyone's like, "Well, I thought you said we'd squeeze," So for me, at this point, it's just at some point I believe it's gonna happen. I don't know when. But yes, I did see that GME broke through that 26 range. What's up? I don't even know what it's trading at right now at this moment because I'm on here, but it's pumping, man. And I think all of us know the potential of GME when this thing pumps. It can. I mean, what did we hit 200% last time on one of the big pumps? It's kind of like that Volkswagen chart that everyone kind of laughs about. We are here. I almost feel like we are. we could have another pullback before a big spring out. So, but then again, like I said, I don't like to tell people for sure, this and that, or tomorrow it's going here and that, because especially being on YouTube, man, people give me shit.
How do you do?
Hi.
Here's Effie.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too, thank you. Hi. Don't judge me and my girly coffee. It's for my wife, all right? I just take a couple sips on the way. I talked about this before too, the way I have been investing for 3-4 years now. Like, my wife is religiously needing a coffee every day. Sometimes we go through like a month or two where she's like, I'm gonna stop drinking coffee because it costs too much. And I'm like, all right. But I used to come and get my coffee and get hers, and then I would stop and get some sort of breakfast or something like that. Now what I've done is I just cut my coffee out, cut my breakfast out, and that goes towards AMC or GME or both. And it doesn't sound like a lot to a lot of people, but this fucking coffee right here was $9. So that plus maybe another 9, 5, whatever it is for the breakfast burrito or whatever I grab. Plus it saves me, and then of course, obviously I'm going to add a few of my own bucks, but I'm, even if it was only $10, $15 a day, or even $10 a day that I throw in, it all adds up, man. Said she was hot voiced. I don't know what that means, but yeah. She was like, anyways, I think that, we just got to keep an eye on it. Definitely keep an eye on these plays the next couple days, because we're definitely at a point where it could break through. I'll say that without saying I think it's going to squeeze tomorrow or blah 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 blah. I think it's at a point where it could rip out of control. When GameStop rips out of control, AMC, like I said, I believe is going to follow shortly behind. There's the whole meme basket that I think will follow like right alongside with it. Some of these other ones that people are into, like BlackBerry, and maybe Chewy. I'm not sure. Other plays like that. I think they're going to have a rip, but I don't know if they have MOAS type potential. And it would be ignorant of me to say it doesn't for sure because I haven't done enough DD, and I don't know. Maybe there is a whole ass community. There's someone on live right now talking about freaking BlackBerry and how we've got to rise up against the man. I don't know. There could be a whole BlackBerry community I don't know about. Roaring Lion says Ryan will buy the GME and AMC float. That would be dope. I mean, and it's not like absurd, outlandish thing to say, So the one thing I'll say is you look at the last time, I think when Roaring Kitty was making that live and it was like, oh my God, we're about to explode. One thing to consider is the dilution that happened. Ryan Cohen and company diluted GameStop, which, at the very moment, a lot of people were probably like, oh my God, they killed it. Why would he do that? He's working against us. But that actually gave them more potential for even a bigger MOAS, if you will. Like, it makes it a lot harder to cap that off. Because in the short term, when you do something like he did when you dilute the company, dilute the shares, it prolongs some stuff. But what it does is give the company ammunition, and you can't go to war without ammunition, right? Like you gotta be loaded up. So they might have been, we may have been right there on the cusp of hitting a huge squeeze, which it technically speaking, I would say 200% arguably is a little bit of a squeeze already, gamma something. But when he did that and things kind of pulled back and, then it's not like everyone just sold this suddenly because of dilution. For me, it gave me more opportunity. And I talked about this before about buying in because I don't buy a lot. Like I just talked about, a few bucks a day, so it adds up for me. I'm not blocking the Donkey Kong. He's definitely going to take care of those nose hairs after MOAS. Listen, when there is a MOAS and you tune in and I'm over here looking like I'm probably going to get my fucking freckles removed too. I don't know. I got some of those. My mom said they're angel kisses, but get those removed, some nose hairs removed. I'll probably have like that chin Jim Carrey hat off of me, myself, and what is Irene? I'll be talking like this. Yes, I think we need to invest in Berkshire Hathaway. I'm only buying 6 shares today. So that moving forward, it's gonna be sidetracked. Oh yeah, I didn't see that. So the microphone on Kitty's map is tomorrow's release of Katy Perry's new single, "Baby You're a Firework." It's the first thing I think of when I think Katy Perry, and I'm sorry if I hurt your ears if you're tuning in now. But where was I? Oh, dilution, money, financials, ammunition, all that. So I think when Ryan Cohen diluted, a lot of people were upset or annoyed that it capped off a potential squeeze. But now you have another volatile. I mean, look at all those shares that were added, and they're just bought up again, and it gets volatile, and shit gets crazy, and Donkey Kong says you better not block me. Only a real friend tells you when you got a boogie bush. I called it a boogie boogie. You didn't even say a boogie boogie. I gotta double check every time. It's not a booger, okay? Listen, I'm getting older. I got a white nose hair. It just tripped me out every once in a while. I'm like, God damn, you getting old when your nose hairs turn white. So it's clear, all right? I'm gonna have to start doing my video like this. MOAS imminent. But I will say, man, I can't even get this whole sentence out. I guess what I'm saying is that the dilution, everyone hated it at the moment, but it makes it stronger now. Now, what do you say? Like when we're pulling up like this and the company's going volatile like this, but only upward, and you say, oh, well, they're in debt, or oh, they don't have money, or oh, it's a dying company. No, none of that works anymore because they are just consistently moving upwards with money. So what's going to happen possibly, in my opinion, is GameStop turns into a big company where it's just like, okay, we are literally going to be hanging on to, shares that are going to be trading in the hundreds, and that's where they stay. I had to go deliver my coffee real quick to the wifey. Talk amongst yourselves about my nose hairs. I'll be right back. Howdy, motherfuckers! Yeah. Let's go for a ride in this car. You wanna? I don't know. I kept track of the mileage before I left here, and I put a special hair over the steering wheel. My mom used to do that when I was younger. She'd fucking put hairs. And like, did you drive the car when I was gone? No. Well, my hair's not there. What? You got a hair? Yeah. She's like, I had one on the doorknob, or one on the door handle, one on the thing. But I mean, it would have been a lot easier if she would have checked the mileage. I think. I don't know. But the hairs worked. So whenever like we'd go into my anything that my mom had, if there was a hair over it, it was a setup. Yeah, baby. Yeah. And this is the thing too. I just talked about I don't buy my own coffee, but my wife feels guilty and she shares with me. So I get my coffee and I get my shares. To the moon, lads. All right. You know what's funny is ever since I started doing lives, I now wear my seatbelt because I've never had so many people tell me, put your goddamn seatbelt on. So, look at me. Safety first. Now let me hold my phone while I drive. If you notice, people that be talking shit, I don't look at my phone while I drive. Theron says, to the moon, power to the players. Yes, sir. Agreed. Buckeye Ace, what's up, man? DT, what's up? Yeah. Anyways, we were talking about the dilution before I got out of here. That's basically all I want to say. Dilution, it may have seemed like it was going to be shitty in the beginning. I don't know why I just thought of this, but hey, man, I appreciate it, Theron. Much appreciated, man. So when I worked in Midland, in Midland, Texas, I had a job out there. My family had bought and invested into a greenhouse, this big greenhouse with flowers and trees and all this like, it was a big place, but it was run down, so we were going to come in and save it. Long story short, obviously, we didn't save it. I'm in Idaho, but we were in there cleaning it up, working, and I had this little Asian neighbor dude, hella cool, man. He came over one day and he's like, you smoke? And I'm like, huh? Smoke? Like cigarettes? He's like, no. He's like, no, like, do you smoke? I'm like, oh, my mom's right there. I'm like, no, I don't smoke. So he lights up a fucking joint as he's walking through the greenhouse, telling me what trees he wants. I want this one, I want that one, blah, blah, blah. So as he's telling us the trees, I don't know if you've ever seen a South Park episode where they like want you to, anyway, he wants to grow, apparently he wants to grow his own personal plants in his backyard, but he wants a tall wall. And he had a lisp and his accent, and he would be like, and he finally, it just really reminded me of the South Park episode, and he said, so I buy these plants, can you build me a shitty wall? I said, what? A shitty wall. I want a shitty tall wall like the shitty has. Downtown, the shitty has the tall wall, and then downtown Midland, they have this area where there's this huge ass wall. So he was trying to say city wall, but I don't know why I'm telling you that part. It was just funny to me. But I remember him being like, you build me a shitty wall, I hide my plants, and you come over smoke with me and behind my shitty wall. I said, oh yeah, I'll build you I can build you a shitty wall, no problem. No city wall, but oh shit. Yeah, boy. But I remember finally he came over because, I had to pretend I didn't smoke in front of my mom. Like, yeah, I don't smoke that stuff. That'd be weird. Finally, he came over one day and this guy would have like the hugest fucking blunts, just wasteful, like for no reason, like cigar full of like a Cheech and Chong joint. I remember just lighting those things up and being like, God damn, man, where's that? Who has this? Like an ounce in one blunt. But that's why he wanted a shitty wall, yeah, shitty walk. That's what it was, the shitty walk. But I remember him being like, he wanted the wall like the city has. I want the wall like the shitty wall. Like, shit, man. I told my brothers, like, hey, can you build a shitty wall with me? Oh, damn. Anyways, good times. Anyways, that dude, finally I went over and smoked with him, and I just remember thinking, like, God damn, man, that's a lot of, that's the one thing, if you've ever been a smoker, you ever smoked the devil's lettuce, man, it don't matter what race, religion, what type of music you listen to, people that smoke will just hang out together. That's the shit's always kind of cracked me up. Like, you'll get dudes that are like that dude. He was like a little nerdy, preppy Asian dude, and here I am, dirty ass construction looking worker at the time, and yeah, it don't matter. That's the one thing about that. I've noticed that back in the day when we used to do concerts, we threw shows for like Snoop Dogg and shit like that. I remember just having like rotation sessions and like having like every type of person in the circle, and you're like, wow, this really is the peaceful drug. Anyways, enough about that. We're here for the MOAS. Not talking about my shitty decisions in the early 2000s. Kids, if you're watching, Daddy doesn't do that no more. Actually, my kids ain't watching this shit. Yep, smoking the peace pipe. I did live in Northern California for a while. I used to travel with construction, and being out there would be just absurd amount. Like, so nowadays you get to go pick your strand. Like, I'll take a sativa that's good for a toothache, and they're like, oh, well, I'm gonna suggest this Indian Breeze sativa smoke. It's actually a hybrid or whatever. They got all this for everything. Back in the day, you just get what you get. You don't know what you got, until you smoked it. And then at the end of it, you're like, oh, that shit knocked me out. Or this shit's like fucking got me cracked out. You know, you don't know what you're getting. You just got it and smoked it. But I do remember living in Northern California, and there was like, anyway, a lot of crazy shit going on up there because we worked in the mountains, and they would tell us not to venture off into the mountains because there's people out there just growing, you know, and it'd shoot your ass. So you just had to stick to the road, you know. And day driving home, it was dark, it was rainy, and there was a lady walking down the road, and we kind of felt bad for her, so we pulled over to pick her up. And probably, you know, in hindsight looking at it, she was probably scared shitless because there's 4 construction worker guys and a little lady by herself. We pulled up, picked her up, and, you know, none of us are creeps or nothing. We just felt bad because she was walking in the mountains. Well, we get her to the bottom of the mountain, and she's like, oh, thank you. You know, she didn't really say much the whole ride. She goes, do you guys smoke? And of course, all of us are like, we smoke. So she gave us like a little container, like one of those. Back in the day, you remember you'd get your film rolls, those little camera roll shit, like an extra long one. It was this one big ass nugget that was like a sticky. I remember it being so sticky we couldn't smoke it. We were like, damn, this shit sticks to the window. But that's what she gave us for the ride. Turns out later that you know, maybe 6-7 weeks down the road, we found out that she was arrested for heading up one of the cartel something or another. And like, oh damn, we just gave her a ride out of the kindness of our hearts, you know. Good thing none of us were creeps and tried to do anything. She would have had us all chopped up and shit. But why am I'm ventured off into this storytelling mode now, man? I'm not supposed to be doing that. We're talking about dilution, GME, AMC, why the fuck I'm gonna be rich and get rid of my nose hairs. I think everyone's got a lot of stories, you know. The problem is just I'm jacked up today, man. I got fucking energy drink. I started eating healthier for the last 2 days. You ever start eating healthy after you've been eating like shit for like the past few months, and the next thing you know, you feel like you're on crack? I'm moving stores too, by the way. I'm moving into a bigger location. So, selling off the building we're in now. Purchasing a new building, so we'll own it outright. And it's a big move for us, so it's a lot of money. And that's why also right now, like literally like $5-10 into each stock is where I'm at. I can't really afford to be going ham, you know. So says you gotta smoke that shit in a bowl. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, that shit that she gave us was so sticky. It had to have been fresh off a tree. I don't know, man. And it wasn't like a huge amount, but it was enough, you know. It was a little peace offering for the ride, right? But I just remember being like, this back in the day, like I said, back in the day, you didn't, and I hadn't lived in Northern California. I lived in fucking Idaho and Texas and places like that. So I was getting that Mexican brick shit, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? That old brown dirt weed they used to have. Anyways, enough of that. I'm trying to get out of here with that. I just remember being like, what is this? It sticks to the window, guys. Look at this. Oh my God. You know. Anyways, anyone know where we're trading at? AMC, GME at this moment. I've been bullshitting this whole time. I just realized this morning I bought some AMC and I was like, I'm going to buy GME after I get my coffee and see if it, because I thought it was going to have a pullback. Next thing I know, I'm over here talking about my experiences when I was a teenager in California and shit. So easily sidetracked. That's me for sure. Sorry, I got messages coming in. Oof. With that being said, AMC is red. Man. Son of a bitch. Well, I guess I got to buy more. I did buy my AMC already this morning, but it's kind of tempting to buy some more because I'm trying to. There's like a certain, you know, I had a goal at mine. I surpassed that goal, and then now I'm like, okay, I'm not going to worry about it. But now I've placed another goal in my head. I think I'm gonna go buy more. Anyways, I gotta make a call real quick. I got a couple things I gotta handle. I'll try to jump back on maybe a little later today if I get a moment, but actually gotta call my fucking CPA and that's not fun. Doesn't sound fun. So have a good one. Be blessed. Let's get rich soon. Peace.